Okay, so Mattel and MGA have been beefing since the early 2000s. In 2001, MGA came out with Bratz, which Mattel was not happy about. They were very unused to having any sort of competition with Barbie. They immediately fired back with My Scene in 2002, which, if you asked me, the winner of the competition was the doll collectors. We got My Scene and Bratz at the same time, and these were all great high-quality dolls. A lot of people still want these dolls in their collection. A lot of people are so happy to have these dolls in their collection. Competition breeds creativity and quality, and that's what we got during this time period. And then in 2010, Mattel came out with Monster High, which I would not be surprised at all if this was also a result of them trying to take over the doll market again over MGA. And once again, doll collectors reap the benefits of this competition. 2 years after that, MGA fired back with their answer to Monster High, which was Bratzillaz, which is the line that we're going to talk about today. So Bratzillaz is kind of a spin-off of Bratz, but the body types are way different. These dolls are tall and thin like the Monster High, but they're supposed to be cousins of Bratz characters, and they're also supposed to be witches. Unfortunately, though, Bratzillaz didn't last very long. I think they got canned after only a few years, and I'm really not sure what the sales numbers were for these dolls, but what I want to talk about today is just the line in general and the type of dolls that we got and whether or not they actually succeeded as a witchy line, because Monster High is now putting out witchy dolls and people are excited. So I would imagine back then, I wasn't a collector at the time, but I imagine back then when MGA was putting out witch dolls, people were excited. And I also really like witchy dolls, and I have a small collection of Bratzillaz because they are witchy dolls, and I find them very cute. I want to talk about this doll line and whether or not they actually deliver as witch dolls. And that's pretty much the point of this video. We're just going to look at the Bratzillaz line and see exactly the type of product that MGA put out. Alright, so here's our first wave. They're not too bad. From left to right, we've got Coletta, who is Chloe's cousin, Megana, who is Megan's cousin, Jade, who is Jade's cousin, Yasmina, who is Yasmin's cousin, and then Sasha Bella, who is Sasha's cousin. Apparently, they just all have witch cousins. Instead of making them cousins, I would have just put them in like an alternate fantasy universe and just said these were the same characters, just in a different universe. And this is not a bad first wave. There are some witchy vibes here. Coletta feels very witchy. Megana is giving me Harry Potter vibes. She's got like the little broom that she can ride on, and I really feel very Quidditch vibes from this. Jade is kind of losing me. If you took away the hat and the cape, she's just in this kind of funky, cute dress. I don't know what's up with the knee pads. As you can tell, she's kind of a love witch. Yasmina's still a little witchy. I like that she has kind of a different sort of cloak. She's supposed to be able to tell the future, I believe. I don't know why she has a magnifying glass and not like a crystal ball. And then we've got Sasha Bella, who is an animal-themed one. It's the belts across the waist and the torso that really gives witchy vibes to me, and the green socks. I love the green socks. So they're kind of witchy. Like, I'm not saying they're terrible dolls. They're kind of giving a witchy vibe, but I really would have liked to have seen more. Not bad for a first line. Sasha Bella especially, I don't know why she doesn't have a familiar. The Moonspell Magic characters don't have familiars either. Like, no familiars. Like, not a cat among them. Why doesn't anybody have a pet cat? It's kind of driving me nuts. But the crazy thing is, MGA did release pets for these characters. This is what they look like. Somebody at MGA must have been high as a kite. What kind of pets are these? I also collect Novi Stars, and they also just have the craziest, weirdest pets. And for Novi Stars, I can see them getting away with it more because they're aliens, so literally anything can be a pet, even though, like, some of their pets are super weird, and you're like, I don't know if this is a pet. But these are witches. And these are the pets that they gave these witches. Why don't they have normal familiars? I want to see a cat. I want to see different kinds of cats. An owl? A raven? I'd take a snake? Anything like that. What the hell are these? Here's wave 2. I don't see any witches here. We got 2 new characters. Did you notice there's like a crest on them? I'm assuming this is like their witchy school. But the witchy part is going away. There's some fun fashions, like these are not bad dolls. I have a couple of them. I'd love to have a couple more, but aside from the witch hats, where's the witch? Some of them don't even have witch hats. The witch part's gone. These are just fashion dolls. They're fun fashion dolls, but where's the witchy part? I don't see it anymore. Like this is wave 2 and we're out of it. I just want to mention back to the familiars. I have Ileana and Victoria, I believe their names are, the 2 new characters. I bought them new in box and they came with a cardboard cutout of their familiars and they were so freaking cute. Why did we never get those familiars? Ileana had like a little elephant guy and Victoria had this cute like turtle dragon thing. They were so adorable and they were just art. They were just art. I kept them because I thought they were so cute. If I ever owned a 3D printer, I would just make them. They were so cute. Why didn't we get familiars like that? It's so like I just started collecting them like last year. So I'm very late to the party and I'm frustrated. Moving on. This is wave 3. I believe this is called Back to Magic. This is a fun line. I don't mind this line at all. This feels a little more witchy. This feels kind of going to like a witch ball or something. I see it. I see the witch in there. There's a little bit of that in the fashion, but there's also just fashion. You take off their little witch hats, like at first glance, these still feel like witches, and for the most part, I'd say no. Still, once again, gorgeous dolls, lovely dolls. I'd love to have several of these as well. Vampalina was also in this line. I don't know why she didn't make it into this group picture. She's a new character, and even though she's a vampire, she gives the witchiest vibes out of all of them. Why do they have a vampire? They're trying to keep up with Monster High. They just can't help themselves. They don't want to go full witch. I don't know what they're trying to do. And I want this doll. Like, I want all these dolls. But where's the witchiness? Wave 4 was the Midnight Beach line. Everybody got super pale because they made them out of that glow-in-the-dark plastic. And we got another new character, which is the mermaid, Fiona Finns, which, once again, I like these dolls. I love the mermaid doll. Why is there a mermaid in this witch line, though? Because they're not aiming for witches. They're aiming for Monster High, but they can't. They can't aim for Monster High. So they're trying to fit some Monster High themes in there with the mermaid. This is what they can get away with. And the mermaid has a witch hat for some reason. Like, that hat isn't gonna stay on her head. How is this a witch line? And they all have hats. They all have hats. They're going swimming with witch hats because if they don't have the witch hats, how are we supposed to know these characters are witches? And look, she comes with a pet. She comes with a little seahorse. Finally, that's a reasonable pet. It's not a witchy pet because she's a mermaid. I mean, you can't have a sea witch. That is true. But sea witches don't wear witch hats. It's such a confusing line. I love it. I want more dolls. They've just lost the plot so quick. Like they don't really have a theme. They're just putting out dolls. They came out with these fashion packs, which actually feel a lot more witchy than some of the other styles. These are actually really nice fashion packs. I have the teal one, and the hats are even material, and they come with these cute bags. I highly recommend the fashion packs. They're witchy, they're cute. These feel a lot more right on theme, except for Jade. I don't know what's up with this pink thing. This pink outfit's weird, but the rest of them they're okay. They also came out with this Switch-a-Witch, which is exactly like the Monster High, I believe it was called Build a Monster, where you got dolls in pieces and you could put them together yourself. 100% just copying Monster High at this point. These are weird. Like, this is the least witchy of all of them. They're so strange. Why are their faces different colors? Why is their skin different colors? There's nothing. These are fun dolls, but there's nothing witchy about these at all. Like we have lost the plot, we have lost the road, we are out in the wilderness here. This is This is chaos now. We're just in chaos mode at this point. The last thing they came out with, I think, are these princesses, which also there's no witchy vibes, especially this last one on the right. Aren't they princesses? We got these two on the left that are in these really kind of more fancy ball-like outfits, and then this teal girl on the right that is that just is in rags. What is this outfit? And they all have bird cages on their heads. I don't even know what's up with this. Like, they're back to smoking. They're back to smoking something with these outfits. I just don't know. But they're, once again, they're cute and they're fun and I want them. But where is the witch? Like, were people complaining about the witch hats? So they were like bird cages. Because heaven forbid they just do like the old fashioned floppy witch hat. It has to be bird cages. I don't know. This is pretty much the Bratzillaz line. I forgot to add, there were these budget dolls. Once again, there's not a witchy theme among them. Some of them look like they're going to a PJ party. I don't know what's going on with this line. These were budget dolls, not as much articulation, and they didn't have the inset eyes. Lastly, we have this advertisement. You can find it on YouTube for this unreleased line of Bratz. You can see the pink girl with the birdcage on the head. This was clearly what they were going to do, and then they changed it to those princesses. We've got on the left, I believe she's kind of like a Dia de los Muertos type of girl, which feels witchy. I don't mind her. The red-haired one in the middle kind of looks like another Megana. Then we have this white-haired one that's like a skeleton or something. This could also be kind of Dia de los Muertos. Kind of witchy, like I can still dig it. But then these last two, this purple-haired one is a unicorn, and then this black and red one is supposed to be like a spider girl. Like she has at least two sets of arms. It's just so weird for a witch line. And I'd probably still buy these dolls because they're cool, but they're not witches. We're hardly sticking on theme. We're kind of, I would say like 50-50. We're kind of getting it and kind of not. Like, this line only lasted between 2012 and 2013. Like, it tanked really fast, and I'm not sure what the sales were. I'm not sure what people thought of them at the time, but this really didn't last. Like, they weren't having it. It was a weird line. It really was strange. And now we are living in a time with Moonspell Magic coming out, and MGA has kind of been teasing that Bratzillaz is coming back. I usually get my doll news from Courtly Jester because that channel is very good about posting quite regularly and quite quickly. From what I learned there, MGA had renewed the license for the main core characters plus Vampirella. And I was thinking, of course, because they had to have a character to match Draculara. But then I also heard that it's possible that we're getting Bratzillaz Bratzillaz, which I didn't even know Bratzillaz existed until that particular video. I hope that's not all we get. I hope we actually get Bratzillaz dolls. Like, I wouldn't complain if we got reproductions because I could possibly get the dolls that I'm missing. I would love reproductions, but I would also just love new stuff. I would really, really like if they did like a G2 of Bratzillaz instead. I would not complain at all. I'd love both, but if they wanted to do a G2 Bratzillaz at some point, I would be 100% behind it. But this is the part of the video where I'm going to talk about if MGA came to me and was like, we want to reboot Bratzillaz, do a G2, what do you suggest we do? This is what I would do as like a project director if they gave me Bratzillaz and put me in charge. Item 1, do laundry. Wait, that's my weekend to-do list. Item 1, everybody gets big hats. I'm talking about those big floppy witch hats with the belt buckles on them. Maybe some of those bowler type hats that Moonspell Magic has, and maybe sometimes we'll do the little bitty ones. A variety of witch hats to go with these outfits. The little ice cream cone ones, they're just not cutting it. We are going to go big and bold and fun with the witch hats. Item 2, accessories. We are going to do witchy accessories all over the place. Broomsticks, crystal balls, funky plants, wands, spell books. cauldrons. All this fun stuff I'm seeing with Moonspell Magic, we also have to do it with Bratzillaz. They don't come with accessories, and it's just so sad. Like, how are we supposed to do spells without our stuff? Number 3. Everybody gets familiars, no exceptions. Default will always be cat. If we come up with something else cooler, the character might get something else besides a cat. But I can't see anybody having a problem with getting fun cats to go with the characters. We could give them fantasy tones, fun stripes and spots. You can do all sorts of things with a fantasy style cat. I went and took a picture of Victoria and Ileana's familiars, and these are also completely okay. Look at these things. They're so cute and so cool. Something like this, something that makes sense. Not these weird pets that they came up with. I don't understand what these are. They make me so uncomfortable. They might not other people might be okay with them, but I don't like them. I don't like them at all. We're gonna go back to basics. We're gonna do really cute familiars, really fun, fantasy-esque, but they still make sense. Familiars for everybody, and this is the thing that's gonna put them on the map above Moonspell Magic, because right now we're kind of doing everything that Moonspell Magic does, but if we do familiars, that's something new that only the Bratzillaz are offering. Number 5, fashion, but keep it witchy. We are not going to forget what our theme is. We are going to keep it witchy all the time. Some themes of inspiration would be dark academia. That's really big right now. I'd look into vibes from New Orleans, fall vibes, 90s fashion, the craft, practical magic, goth styles, styles from the 70s, very Stevie Nicks. We'll do some Halloween themes. There's all sorts of things that we can do. We can lean into like a dark gothic ball, maybe if we want to do like fancy dresses for one theme. There's really so easy to stay on theme, and there's just so many options and so many fun things that you could do with these dolls. And then number 6, I would update the doll bodies. The faces are fine. I would very much want to keep the inset eyes. I'd want to keep some of the fantasy hair colors. The head sculpts are fine. I have no problem with them. I would entertain updates, but I don't think the faces need updating. They're so pretty, and they're great canvases for absolutely stunning looks. Those are fine. The bodies could use a little work. The hands would be my first change. I call them pancake hands because all these dolls just have like the flat open hand. I'd get rid of that and do some more interesting hand sculpts. And then the body itself, I would fix mostly the legs. The legs kind of drive me nuts because they're just so long and thin. I would actually maybe make them a little bit shorter and give a little more shape to the legs, definitely in the thighs. MGA was kind of a different doll company back then than they are now. They really seem to like wide hips, and I am also a fan of hips and thighs. I feel like it really helps the dolls fill out their outfits a bit more, and they just look better in their outfits when they have a little bit of hips and thighs. I would also take a look at the joints again. The joints are really, really loose and kind of flimsy, so that's what I would change. And that's really it for me. I kind of got a little excited talking about the fashions and everything. Legit, MGA, if you hired me, like I would give you my best. I would give you the best I could come up with. I think I've got some pretty good ideas here. I would love to hear what you think, especially if you're Bratzillaz fans. Do you want to just see reproductions, or would you like to see like a generation 2? And if you were in charge of a generation 2, what would you do? Do you like my ideas? Do you not like my ideas? I would love to hear other people's thoughts on this because I love Bratzillaz and I love witchy dolls, and I'm very excited for Moonspell Magic, and I would be more excited if Bratzillaz came back in any way, shape, or form. So I would love to talk Bratzillaz with anybody who wants to talk Bratzillaz. That will be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye!